Alright guys, Hayzink here, welcome back to the channel for another Street Fighter Duel video. And the current boss, I feel like we're getting deja vu from. The current boss is Akuma. And I've got a feeling that the last time we fought Akuma was slightly different to this. I think he done something where he applied a status that would make you weaker. But he doesn't do that this time. But he still murders you, right? Which obviously makes him quite difficult to deal with. And a lot of people are saying things like, you blink and you're dead, right? So we're going to go over why Akuma's so tough. We're going to have a look at a couple of my runs that have got me on the leaderboard, and you guys can let me know in the comments down below how you're getting on with this guy. I might even try a one-off live run, right? So he does Shatsukuna Hadouken, unleashes a flaming Hadouken dealing flame damage and inflict one burn on the nearest enemy. So that's your front enemy, right? Your front unit. Then he's got this one, unleash Shin Shun Goku Satsu to strike the enemy rearmost fighter 7 times with a 50% base chance of inflicting 1 times weaken. Okay, now you can cleanse that, right? Next one, Akuma will unleash 1 Shin So Godoken whenever an enemy fighter is defeated. So basically, this is why he is quite tough, because as soon as he kills one of your fighters, he will immediately try and kill another one of your fighters. That is how it can be quite tricky to defeat this guy, because basically when you start dying, it causes a chain of events that essentially can just eradicate you. Now, usually you would think that that would be his passive, right? It might be his passive, but I'm not entirely sure, because if we look at my score, right, we'll go to this bottom team. You can see in this bottom team I am running Zangief. Zangief obviously does his C2 and he nullifies passives. I think he still attacks. We need to watch it here, right? I think he still attacks, right? Again, what we're basically looking for here with Zangief's passive is when someone dies, if it's within 8 seconds, I believe, of Zangief unleashing his C2, it means that Zangief is not nullifying that with his passive. So right there, if someone was to die in the next 8 seconds, he should not attack, right? But obviously no one's died, right? So we'll watch again. Zangief hits him again, so his passive should be disabled. We just need to be at the point here where someone dies, and it needs to be within a window of Zangief unleashing that passive blocking ability, or nullification, whatever you want to call it. So everyone's actually still sitting on quite decent health right now. Elena's the closest one to dying, which would be quite interesting, because I think that would actually then kill our combo chain. Right, so Zangief died, right? But he didn't attack there. Right, okay, so Zangief does in fact nullify his passive, right? You've obviously seen it yourself there. Zangief does in fact nullify his passive. So actually, maybe having Zangief in the back slot would be quite useful there, because obviously he does hit the front unit. Zangief's the front unit, which makes him most liable to die. I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that. Right, I'm going to try that just now, actually. So what we'll do is we'll come out, we'll go to here, let's see what we've got. This team, I wouldn't really make any changes to that. This team, this team here is the one I'm going to make changes to. So I am actually going to do just a slight change. I'm going to do that, which means Evil Ryu will take the hits at the front, which is fine, because Evil Ryu is technically not really doing much actively. If he dies, it's not going to kill our combo, right? And we will in fact be able to see if he is in fact, you know what, we'll do that, because she could get taken out quite quickly. Can anyone else fill in for her in a C1 slot if Evil Ryu does die? You know what, I think I'm going to take Evil Ryu out. This is a bit of a weird team, right? But I'm only doing this because if she dies, then Honda will be able to act in C1 instead of her, and it will keep the combo going, right? So we'll go with this, and he does get bullet wall, so he should block one of these Shin Hadokens. So we'll put you up there, we'll put you there, and we'll see how this one functions. We'll also see how Oni does in this run. So let's go. Team 1, I think I'm happy with that. We've got heals, we've got what we need. Yep, everything's fine. Right, let's go with this. I'm not going to build up too much super gauge here, and yes, I am going to do it on auto. Right, so did his bullet wall actually block anything there? Right, so Elena took that hit. Okay, let him build up one more super gauge. Attack now. Bang, let's go. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's see. Zangief should pop in. Bang. That's him. His passive should be blocked. Oops. Heal you back up. Again, we're only going to see if Zangief's passive's doing what it's supposed to do if someone dies. So it's good to bear that in mind. That when it comes to... Right, someone didn't die there. Zangief missed there, so if someone died right now, his passive would not actually do anything. And I don't think... I think he attacked there, but I think that was only because Zangief had not hit him in time to activate that passive nullification. So once again, Zangief is actually, if used correctly, which I'm not saying I am, I'm just saying if used correctly, Zangief could in fact help sustain you a little bit longer in this fight, because you have got that passive nullification, which means the chain events that is him basically one by one murdering your team is not necessarily going to happen. So in this one I've put Gen's shadow at the back. Now unfortunately Gen's shadow, I think, does it? I don't think Gen's shadow did count as a unit there, because he didn't immediately attack anyone else. So he killed Akuma there. Oh, and then he attacked again. You see that, just one by one murdering them. That's where if you had someone like Zangief nullifying that passive, it makes a big difference. He never really done that in that other fight. You obviously seen that yourself. So Zangief is definitely a strategy that you can use. Unfortunately, we don't really have any other passive nullification units apart from Zangief, which I suppose is maybe a little bit of an oversight. I don't know. Like, we could use more characters like that in future. The other thing I suppose you could do is have your Virgil skill, which the timing on it would need to be pretty damn exact. Like, so if I pop it there, it should in fact stop someone else from immediately dying, which it did, but you know, it would be better if I could have popped it beforehand and stopped it happening to begin with. But yeah, I mean, that was a terrible score. I mean, if we look at my actual better score, we can see that here, mainly, you know what, the Oni team did not do fantastically. It could do better. The Bison team did okay, and the Zangief team did pretty decent as well. So I can obviously see where I need to gain points is probably going to be in my Oni squad. I'll work on that, but Akuma's a boss. What can I say? They've made him a mad raging demon who is just going to completely wipe you one after the other. So basically, try and get as many points as possible before you start dying, because once you start dying, you're just going to get wiped out. Anyway guys, I've been Hayzink, thanks for watching, catch you in the next one, peace.